welcome to Sound Healing with Michelle. Today's meditation is going to be about decision making. This is definitely a tough topic for a lot of people, as we all have a hard time making really tough decisions in our lives. I know there was a time in my life where I couldn't even make small decisions, so I was flipping a coin, and sometimes I would fight with the coin. And so I thought, well, if I'm fighting with the coin about this side of it, maybe I actually feel the other side. But then the other side I would feel off about too. So then I felt like the coin was just too much of chance and I didn't trust it. It did work for a little bit, and it works for small things but not big things. So then I switched to a pendulum. And I don't know if you've ever worked with a pendulum, but basically a pendulum shows you your inner feelings. So you're holding it, and if it swings up and down, I mean, you can kind of train it to do whatever you want, but like up and down is yes, side to side is no, and a circle is like just unsure. So that's the way to decision make with the pendulum, which did help for sure, it did. But for for smaller things, for larger decisions like, should I quit my job? Should I, break up with my partner? Should I move? Should I have this difficult conversation with someone? How do I really feel? What do I really want? These are not yes or no's, and these also can be more complicated. And in order for you to feel comfortable about that decision, either way or regardless of what you choose, you almost need more of a why you feel that way, or at least more of an insight of why you feel that way. So this foolproof method of decision making it is the best method for decision making, in my opinion. It really truly is. And it's fairly simple, but it takes time and practice and trust and intuition, like trust in yourself and your intuition for it to really work, and for you to really feel into it and get that sure benefit of it, that foolproof benefit of it. And I even struggle with this. I mean, it's a practice I have put in place for a while now, but it takes a lot of concentration. It takes a lot of feeling into your body and going within, which, in order to do that, you have to put yourself in the right space, in the right headspace, the right body space to do so. So what I always like to do is find a quiet space. A lot of times it's like on my bed, like I have a canopy over my bed and I feel like it's a safe cocoon, or just anywhere you feel that you are alone and safe and can be with yourself. So just take a second to yourself, and you start off by just taking a few nice deep breaths, holding in for 4, out for 4, trying to just focus on 1, 2, 3, 4 in, 1, 2, 3, 4 out, 1, 2, 3, 4 in, and until you can calm your nervous system, calm the chattering brain, the monkey brain, calm your body, because you might be feeling anxious or panicky or whatever, depressed, anything, regardless of what you're feeling, maybe overly happy, no matter what the feeling is, you can breathe in and calm that nervous system. And once you feel like all of that is kind of calm and centered, you just sit with yourself. And sometimes it helps for me to close my eyes and keep out the distractions of the room. Or sometimes, I do it eyes open, whatever feels more comfortable for you. and I place both my hands on my heart space. And I feel into my heart space. And once I feel a sensation in my heart space, whether it just be the feeling of my breath in my chest, or tingles or pressure, I breathe into that. Breathe into those tingles and pressure. And I don't judge whatever it is, whatever I'm feeling, whatever sensations come up. I'm just sitting with it and breathing into it. And really, like, this is bringing me into my body and tapping me into my heart. And once I feel like I'm in there, I'm feeling my body, I'm becoming attuned to these sensations, I can ask my question. Should I quit my job? I'm going to use this as an example. Should I quit my job? And immediately, there's like a tightness in the heart, or an uncomfortable feeling, or maybe even a fear. So I sit with that and just breathe it in and sit with that feeling. What is this feeling? What does it feel like? Like I said, it feels uncomfortable, it feels tight. Okay, so I breathe into that. Is there an emotion behind that feeling? That sensation? It's fear. That emotion is fear. Stress, uncertainty. So then I try to come out of that space and kind of shake it off a little, just shake off that feeling, and then I come back into my heart. And I ask myself that question in reverse. Should I stay at my job? That sensation feels a little lighter. Feels a little warmer. Is there an emotion behind that sensation? It's a comforting emotion, a safe emotion. It's joy, fulfillment. And this is just me personally because I love my job. But like, don't judge whatever you're feeling. Even if I was feeling the reverse, I'm just feeling into it. I'm not judging it. And then again, I'm coming out of that, kind of shaking it off. And now sitting with those emotions. When I said, should I quit my job? I was feeling uncomfortable and tight. And when I asked, should I stay at my job? I was feeling more light and confident and happy. So if I trust in what I felt, my body is telling me to stay at my job. And it might not be as simple as I felt good and I felt bad. It could be, this is just a better feeling. Like this is just, maybe I can't even find the emotion behind it. Or maybe I'm not even sure how it really feels, but all I know is that it feels good. And maybe the other feeling was just like a ping, or just like something just didn't feel right. I'm asking my heart space. I am asking that heart space, and I'm not judging what's coming up. I'm not trying to make myself feel a certain way. I'm honoring whatever that feeling is and trying to feel into that emotion. And even if I can't, that initial feeling is everything. So if I asked, like, should I break up with my boyfriend? And I'm just feeling this, like, uncertain feeling, like it just feels off. And then when I say, should I stay with my boyfriend, I get this ping in my chest, like this sharp shooting pain. And I hate it. I hate that feeling that I'm feeling. It's such an uncomfortable, familiar feeling. That's what my relationship is making me feel. That's the emotion that came up right away. So then I go back to how I was feeling with that uncomfortable feeling of breaking up with my boyfriend. And I ask my heart, why am I feeling uncomfortable? And if I still don't get an answer, this is when you move into the next phase. Because sometimes we're still going to question this phase and question these feelings that come up. And if you still have a question as far as those feelings are concerned that are coming up when you're asking your heart space, then you can come into a meditation where you sit into that heart space with that ping feeling that you're feeling, and you're going to visualize what it feels like to be in that relationship. What it feels like inside to be in that relationship and continuing on in that relationship. And you sit with that, and then you start like imagining, like you start feeling into things, you start seeing things, you start hearing things, you start really putting yourself in that vision, in that scenario. And then you flip it around and you put yourself in that, what would I feel not being in this relationship? And be honest with yourself. Like, maybe it's still uncomfortable and feels awful. But coming like deeper into that, what could I do if I wasn't in this relationship? What could I feel? What could happen? All of these things, like really dive, the deeper and deeper and deeper you dive into it, the more insight you're going to get. And again, this takes practice, this takes time. So using it for simple things first, just like you would your pendulum. Like, that's how you start with the pendulum. You ask it simple questions, like even things you already know, to feel into that heart. Or even like when I feel a certain way about something that somebody said to me and I want to react or I want to say something back, I go into my heart space and say, like, I want to tell her she's a bitch. I don't know why that came up, but like, I want to tell her, like, that I'm so mad at her and that I feel like she's being this way. And, I get these, like, really uncomfortable feelings, like, I don't think I should say that, because this is how that's going to make me feel from saying that. So then I sit with it and I'm like, okay, why am I feeling this way? I'm not being very compassionate or understanding of her point of view. I'm not putting into what she's going through into consideration, or I don't even know what she's going through. Maybe this is why she's acting this way. So then you can sit with it and decide how to genuinely react from a heart space, or what to say from a heart space before you say something, and before you decide on something. I hope that explained my process that I use in asking my heart, because I truly believe that as long as you come from the heart, you speak from the heart, you react from the heart, you follow that heart space, that it will always, always steer you in the right direction. But again, you can't ask your heart when you're like, all over the place. Like, you have to calm your nervous system first and then ask the heart. You have to take those deep breaths in. My cat's in here knocking things over. You have to take those deep breaths in and really calm, and then come in, step into that heart. And you can use it for everything, for anything and everything. And it will really help you to tune into that heart space, to live in that heart space, to come from that heart space, and you will really feel more just accepting of your decisions. You will feel more, grounded in those decisions. You will feel more conviction in those decisions, more passionate about those decisions, even if you were comfortable at first. Knowing that it's coming from your heart, I know that I'm making the right decision, or I know I said the right thing. Like, I know that this was okay, in me. I can live with this. I can live with this, like, even when it's hard, because a lot of times the best choice for you can be the hardest choice, the toughest choice. And even though like, the repercussions of this choice are gonna be so hard, it's worth it. Because what I was dealing with before, or what I could be dealing with, is just not in alignment with me, and it's so much harder. So, being realistic, not even realistic, just real. Just being real and authentic with yourself and your heart and your body and mind, and that connection will give you so much insight. So much insight. And I also have a video on the mind-body connection, the mind-body-spirit connection. In my videos somewhere, I can't remember what section it's under, but yeah, I have that also in my videos. So if you want a little bit more insight into that, that can be helpful as well. So now that we've talked about my little method for decision making, we're going to step into the meditation. We're going to start with the heart. Going within. Paying attention to our breath and the way that the vibration of the heart bowl feels on our heart space. Sorry, that's our calling. The way the vibration feels on your heart space, feels in your body. Trying to roll back those shoulders. If you're sitting up, bringing those shoulder blades closer together and opening that heart space. If you're lying down, scooting those shoulder blades behind you to open that heart space a little bit more. Leaning in. Feeling into the heart. And beginning to recognize the sensations that you feel. The feelings that come up without judgment. regardless of what the feeling is, even if it's a new feeling. And if it's a painful feeling or a very uncomfortable feeling, just breathing in, taking deep breaths, deep calm breaths into that tough feeling, that tough sensation that you're having, and giving it some nurturing and love, letting it know that it's okay to have that sensation, to have that feeling, holding yourself until it starts to dissipate and release a little to where you're a little bit more comfortable. And once you hit a comfortable space or a warm space, whatever you're feeling, coming into that space and breathing into it a little bit more. And stepping in a little bit deeper. Asking that feeling or that sensation, is there an emotion I notice behind this that is making me feel this way? And whatever emotion comes up, letting yourself feel that emotion without judgment, without trying to change it, with beautiful nurturing acceptance and validation for that real feeling, that real emotion that you have. Then you can ask your heart, what is causing this emotion? Why am I feeling this emotion? You may get an answer. You might not. You might get another feeling, another emotion. And you can step even deeper into that if you want to try to gain deeper insight without forcing it. Allowing these feelings and emotions and sensations give you the answers that it wants to right now, that it's ready to right now. And feeling into it. And if you need to cry, you let yourself cry. To laugh, you let yourself laugh. If it makes you angry, let yourself get angry. Clench your fists. Move your body. Whatever you're feeling, whatever emotion it is, let yourself feel it. Experience it. Too much or feeling hard to bear, give yourself that warm hug of nurturing and letting that emotion, that feeling, that sensation, let it know that it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. You have every right to. No have every right to these emotions, to these feelings, and to these sensations. Can you hold them with love, with support, with nurturing? Can you allow yourself to feel into that heart space, to feel the vibrations of the bowls all over your body, swirling and tingling, and nurturing all your chakras, all your emotions, your entirety, your soul, honoring you. For being your authentic self, and holding that authentic self in love, in compassion. And knowing that your body, especially your heart, is a safe space. It's the safest space you can be. Your heart is the safest place you can be, the most acceptance you could ever feel. Brings you validation, confidence, compassion, empowerment, and all the love you could ever need that's already inside you. This heart space can give you whatever you need. And no one and nothing can ever take it away from you. This is your space. This is your heart. And only you can influence it. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. In your heart, it doesn't want you to feel inferior. It wants you to feel empowered. It wants you to tap into that deeper knowing that's within. Because inside of your body, inside of your soul, you have all the answers. All of them. You have all the knowing. And you have all the love and safety that you could ever need. still there. It's waiting for you. And it's not going anywhere. And no one can change it. No one can erase it. But it's your choice and your decision whether to tap into it or not. So what do you choose? What do you want? Because all of us are full of love and compassion. And it's waiting for you within that heart space. Let the sound of the shakers break up any stagnation in the heart, in the body, any negativity or resistance. And then allow the sound of the heart bowl to let your body release. Bringing both your hands to your heart. Feeling into that heart space one more time. Thanking your heart for allowing you to have this beautiful experience, for always being there for you, showing gratitude. And whenever that feels complete for you, I invite you to slowly open your eyes and to take a nice big deep breath in and let it out. Another nice big deep breath in. Let it out. If you're lying down, rolling over onto your side and slowly pushing yourself up. We don't want to shock the nervous system by getting up too quickly. And once you're seated, warming into that heart space, and just feeling that love and nurturing and acceptance that's deep inside. Taking another couple nice deep breaths, letting your body shake a little and wake up. Breathing in and raising the shoulders. Exhaling and lowering the shoulders. Opening that heart space. Maybe you feel a little bit taller, a little bit lighter. Just making note of how you feel now after this experience. And to help yourself integrate, I invite you to journal about this experience, to journal about what you felt in your heart and the emotions that came up and why you feel those emotions or those feelings or those sensations. Just sit with it and journal on it. And even if you don't have answers right now, they might come to you later. But trying to integrate through journaling is a really supportive way to integrate. And if you're not one who enjoys putting pen to paper, you can do a video journal. Have a video diary, a video journal. They're wonderful too, because then you can hear the tone of your voice. You can hear the truth or the passion or the uncomfortability or whatever it might be. You can see the expression on your face. And you can listen back to it. I mean, you can do that with your journal too. You can read back to it and feel into where you were at in that moment. Whatever feels more in alignment for you, whatever feels right, whatever you resonate with, just go with it. Or maybe you'd prefer talking to a friend about it or a family member, or if you want to share with me, you're more than welcome to. I'm always here, especially to help with integration. Usually at the end of a meditation like this, when I'm doing a live class, that's when we integrate together. And sometimes people aren't ready to share and integrate together. But they go home and they integrate. Sometimes they'll even have dreams. So however it happens, and whatever feels right for you, remember not to judge it and to just go with it. And thank you so much for being here to experience this meditation with me. And hopefully that I provided some wonderful tools for you to make your decision making process a little bit easier or a little bit more aligned to your heart. Even if it felt awkward or uncomfortable today, keep at it, keep trying. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the more feelings and emotions and sensations you'll get. And soon it will just become second nature to ask your heart first, or to come to that heart space. And it will bring you into harmony with your body and your heart, your mind, your soul, all of it will come into alignment. So thank you, and have a beautiful evening or day or afternoon.